Hey, is this blood?
Could possibly be blood.
Hey, who did that? You got blood on your hands here. Nobody's armed?
Nobody's armed.
You sure?
That's real, right? That's real love. Oh, yeah. 4 Ed 1 to 82 Sam.
In 2 separate incidents, decades apart, unsettling discoveries were made. A mother found her son's head in a bucket in her basement, and a friend uncovered body parts in a garbage bag on his couch. These 2 chilling calls to the police defy the typical crime narrative. In California, Omaima Nelson, trembling and covered in blood, arrived at a friend's door, asking for help to dispose of body parts while her husband's remains were cooking on a stove. Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, Taylor Schabusiness smiled through her arrest, joked in the squad car, and told detectives they'd have fun finding what she left behind.
They took him out! They took him out! Woo!
Both dismembered the man they claimed to love. One claimed self-defense, the other flaunted defiance. Ooh. In this video, we're not just retelling 2 infamous crimes. We're asking a harder question. Who is the more monstrous of these 2 women? The woman who severed her lover's head and laughed at her own brutality? Or the woman who cooked her husband's remains, ate portions of it, and said she barely remembers?
County Public Safety, how may I help you?
I have no clue what's happening with my girl. Swears that she found her severed head of her son in the basement.
Okay. Did she just wake up and say that?
Yeah,
And whose head is it?
she's claiming it's her son.
How old is her son?
24, 25.
Okay. Is she with you right now?
Yes, I won't. Yeah, she's upstairs. She's a little freaked out, and I don't know what to do. Yeah.
Hi, Tara. So can you tell me what's going on?
Pretty positive my son's head is in a bucket, a round bucket in my basement.
What makes you think that?
Because I looked at the bucket,
And what did you see?
that's what I told you.
In Green Bay, Wisconsin, a late-night 911 call led police to a gruesome scene. Tara Pakanich had woken to a door slamming and discovered a bucket in her basement with a towel on top. Underneath was the severed head of her 24-year-old son.
I picked up the towel and dropped it because I don't know what it is, man. I have bad vision, and she's like, "Is that what I think it is?" And I'm like, "I don't know what."
Do you want to just stay with those 2? I'll just go see what. Where's it at?
Go right there.
This bucket's
Look right, there's a
stuck
bucket
in
with a towel on it.
It's like,
I went down there because
Just keep an eye on those 2 too. Dude, it is.
The victim's head and male organ were both inside the bucket. The dismemberment was so extensive that investigators immediately realized they were dealing with an exceptionally brutal crime. A basement bucket in Wisconsin would become the first unforgettable image of horror. But 3 decades earlier and 1,000 miles away, detectives faced a kitchen that told an even stranger story. Over 30 years earlier in Orange County, California, another ghastly discovery awaited law enforcement. A young Egyptian-born wife named Omaima Ari Nelson had shown up at a friend's house. Hysterical, blood smeared on her body, claiming her husband attacked her. To her friend Jose Escovel, she blurted out, "I cut him. I cut him to pieces," even revealing a garbage bag of human organs she had brought along. Omaima begged Jose for help disposing of the remains, offering him $75,000 and motorcycles for his assistance. Playing along, Jose excused himself to get his truck, but instead called the police. When officers arrived, they were confronted with an absolute horror show at the Nelsons' apartment. Dismembered body parts of 56-year-old William Bill Nelson, Omaima's husband of just 3 weeks, were found stuffed into 33-gallon trash bags scattered throughout the home. and even in the front seat of Bill's red Corvette. In the kitchen, police made a stomach-turning find: a large cooking pot on the stove and a deep fryer. Inside were pieces of human anatomy. Bill's severed head, which had been fried in oil, was discovered wrapped in foil in the freezer. His hands had been boiled to remove fingerprints. Blood covered the apartment's furniture, and a neighbor reported hearing the garbage disposal grinding non-stop the night before. Even after collecting bag after bag of remains, 11 containers in total, authorities realized roughly 80 pounds of Bill's body were unaccounted for, fueling suspicions of cannibalism.
There must have been something special or different about Omaima's husband. We know he wasn't the first man she tied up. I think the earlier crimes of tying men up and robbing them helped her become more confident. There was something about him that she felt the need to destroy him.
What had begun with a friend's tip ended with officers uncovering one of the most grotesque crime scenes in California's history. After Jose's tip, police apprehended 23-year-old Omaima at the home of another ex-boyfriend, where she had sought refuge. She was found driving her husband's Corvette, which contained a trash bag of human flesh on the passenger seat. At the time of arrest on December 2nd, 1991, Omaima was outwardly cooperative. She did not resist as she was taken into custody on suspicion of murder.
She immediately denied everything that had been reported by Mr. Escobar to the police department. She told officers that she had no way to get in touch with him. She really hadn't lived with him very long.
She seems cooperative, but the answers that she's giving to questions are a little bit bizarre.
This calm denial persisted even as detectives began confronting her with the overwhelming physical evidence from her apartment. Officers who had witnessed the bloodbath were struck by how composed Omaima remained.
Did you tell Jose today that you killed your husband?
Yeah, my husband? He wished.
You wish, huh?
No, I did not.
You didn't tell Jose that?
He's an addict. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
If Omaima's first instinct was to deny and deflect, Schabusiness' first instinct was to celebrate. The discovery in Green Bay set off a manhunt for the 24-year-old suspect, Taylor Denise Schabusiness. Police traced her that same day to an apartment on Eastman Avenue, the last place Taylor and Shad had been seen together. There, in the parking lot, they found Taylor's blood-stained minivan, inside of which was a box from a crock pot containing additional body parts, including legs.
Could possibly be blood.
Hey, who did that? Hi, Taylor. How's it going? Officer Russell with the Green Bay Police Department. Just make sure you ain't got nothing on you here. With Taylor.
Contact you, Taylor.
Taylor, you have a warrant for your arrest. Just put your hands behind your back quick.
Anybody else in your apartment?
You got blood on your hands here too.
No, on your hands.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to.
What apartment is she in?
What apartment are you in?
Do we have Adam 3 come up?
He got somebody to get up here.
On the double.
Which apartment?
One, there's what they came back to.
Taylor herself was located in a nearby apartment, her clothing soaked with blood and a cut on her thumb. Body cam footage of the arrest showed her oddly calm and even smirking as officers cuffed her. A disturbing nonchalance given the carnage discovered. In the back of the squad car, she smiled and made casual remarks, celebrating how she had cut up her victim.
They took him out! They took him out! Woo!
Rather than expressing remorse or panic, the young woman appeared strangely unperturbed, even celebratory about what had happened, an attitude that would continue to show in the hours and days after her arrest. With both women in custody, the question shifted from what happened to why did they do this? How does a young mother become the perpetrator of such a heinous crime? Taylor's backstory paints a portrait of a life spiraling out of control. Born in 1997, she was by her mid-20s a married mother of one, but also struggling with mental health and heavy drug use. Court records revealed she had been medicated for ADHD and depression since youth, with diagnoses including bipolar disorder and PTSD by her early 20s. She dropped out of high school and had brushes with the law. In fact, just weeks before the murder, she had removed a GPS ankle monitor and was on probation for leading police on a brief chase. Taylor's husband was incarcerated on unrelated charges, and her family said she fell into methamphetamine addiction through him. Indeed, meth would play a central role in the crime itself.
You two being intimate, having sex?
It was getting there.
It was getting there, okay. So will this be considered foreplay?
Yeah, it was. And then, I don't know. And then, I just didn't stop. I don't know why. I didn't stop.
You guys done something like this in the past?
Not like that.
Do you use manual strangulation during sex at all? The shed like that?
A manual strangulation? Yes.
He likes strangulation?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, he does. Yeah.
In truth, the exact trigger for her outburst remains murky, but it's clear that Taylor Schabusiness was a volatile mix of untreated mental illness, drug intoxication, and violent fanaticism by the time of the murder. Where Taylor's path was chaotic and drug-filled, Omaima's was trauma and opportunism. Born in 1968 in Egypt, she endured a harrowing childhood. As a young girl, she was subjected to sexual abuse and forced circumcision, experiences that left deep psychological scars. At age 18, she married an American and immigrated to the US, quickly shedding that marriage in pursuit of a better life in California. Strikingly beautiful, Omaima found work as a model and nanny, but she also used her looks in more illicit ways. She became known for preying on older men, luring them with sex. In fact, she had a track record of violence and theft against past lovers.
She had this attraction to men, and she could play pool, and she was very articulate and very friendly.
What she was good with was her sexuality. She could get men to do things for her, and she used her sexuality to get what she wanted.
When 56-year-old Bill, a wealthy pilot recently out of prison for drug smuggling, swept the 23-year-old Omaima off her feet in October 1991, friends suspected she was in it for his money.
She met Mr. Nelson much like she met the other men at a Costa Mesa bar near his home. He coddled her and caressed her and treated her like a lady. He loved her. He was kind of what we might term in California old school. Still wanted to have a relationship, but wouldn't unless he married her.
They married within days of meeting. Only a month later, Bill was dead at Omaima's hands. In the hours after her arrest, Taylor sat down with Green Bay detectives and gave an unfiltered account of the night's events, one that left even veteran investigators stunned. High on meth and seemingly without shame, Taylor matter-of-factly described how a consensual, rough sex encounter with Shad Therian in the basement had turned deadly.
Where's the body?
The body's there. Yeah. It's,
So we're gonna take the head somewhere?
I like that.
You liked it?
Well, you're gonna have fun trying to look for all the organs, so yeah, they're all dismembered. Yeah.
So you dismembered the body too?
Yeah.
Well, what did you do with the body?
They're in the house.
Somewhere?
They're like, yeah.
Basement, upstairs, downstairs?
Absolutely in the basement. I was gonna bring them. And then, I know I forgot the head. I wanted the head.
Did you bring anything with you?
Yeah, it's in the van.
What?
It's in the van. It's, what is it? I don't know, a foot maybe.
The what?
I think it's a foot.
A foot in the van?
A leg, maybe. I don't know. I'm like, I'm gonna bring it all, and then I'm like, man, this is messy, so then I just, I got lazy.
Okay.
I got lazy and that's what I did, so.
How did you dismember his body?
Knives.
With what?
Knives.
Knives? Just more than one knife? Where'd you get those from?
Kitchen. Couldn't find mine and I wasn't sharp.
You weren't sharp?
No. It was alright. Bread knife works good.
Bread knife?
A bread knife works good, yeah.
Really?
I was so like, yeah. I got lazy last night, so.
Where were these knives being now?
They're in with all the organs and all the body parts.
And where was that?
In the black bag. It's in the black bag
In the basement?
it's in the basement. They're all in the basement.
Throughout the interrogation, Schabusiness showed virtually no remorse. If anything, she seemed to revel in describing the gruesome details. Investigators later testified that her demeanor was casual indifference as she recounted the necrophilic mutilation. By the end, Taylor had openly incriminated herself on all counts, giving police an extraordinarily detailed and horrifying confession that would become key evidence at her trial. Where Taylor volunteered information, Omaima offered smoking screens and shifting stories under pressure. The interrogation of Omaima was a stark contrast, a masterclass in evasion and fragmented truth. Brought into the Costa Mesa police station, the young woman remained eerily calm given the brutality of what had been found in her home. Initially, Omaima stuck to her far-fetched story.
Did you tell Jose the day that you killed your husband?
Yeah, my husband? He wished.
You wish, huh?
No, I did not.
You didn't tell Jose that?
He didn't ask me. He doesn't know what he talks about.
As the evidence mounted, Omaima eventually abandoned the intruder story and cautiously started claiming self-defense. That yes, she killed Bill, but only because he was raping her.
You know, and I tied me up, so he said in my shoulder was like this, right here, like that.
Fat on your shoulder?
Yeah, and I couldn't breathe. I didn't know. I didn't believe his dad. He got me.
She talked about stabbing and dismembering her husband as if describing a household chore, showing little outward distress. This unnerving composure, even in the face of photographic proof of her deeds, left detectives with the impression that Omaima Nelson either truly believed her own lies or felt no guilt for what she had done. The evidence collected from Omaima's apartment was equally, if not more, gruesome. Forensics teams spent hours sorting through what could only be described as a house of horrors. In the couple's bedroom, the bedposts were found broken and pieces of rope were found, indicating someone had been bound to the bed. Blood soaked the mattress and splattered the walls and ceiling, evidence of a violent struggle. The clothes iron that Omaima used to bludgeon Bill was recovered, its metal dented and stained with tissue and blood. Scissors used in the stabbing lay on the floor, but it was the kitchen and living area that contained the most gruesome finds. Police discovered 11 trash bags and several cardboard boxes containing assorted body parts, from large sections of flesh to smaller organs. In the refrigerator freezer compartment, they found Bill's head, wrapped in aluminum foil after being deep fried in oil and seasoned with spices. A deep fryer on the counter held 2 human hands, cooked until the skin had partially separated, likely in an attempt to destroy fingerprints. While Omaima would later deny eating her husband, the fact remained that a significant amount of him was never found. Every inch of the crime scene spoke to a sustained, determined effort to dismember and dispose of the victim. It was clear that Omaima had not simply killed in a frenzy. She had meticulously butchered the corpse and attempted to obliterate its traces in one of the most disturbing evidence collections the Orange County forensics team had ever encountered. In California, the kitchen was the mortuary. In Wisconsin, it was the basement being uncovered by detectives. Similarly, the forensic evidence in the Schabusiness case told a story of almost unparalleled brutality. In the basement crime scene, blood spatter and drag marks indicated that Taylor had moved the victim's body around methodically. Investigators found that Shad's body had been decapitated over a bucket, likely to minimize mess, and his torso sawed in half and stuffed into a large plastic storage tote. Close by lay knives, including a large carving knife and a serrated bread knife, both stained with blood. The head in the bucket showed signs of strangulation, dark bruising on the neck, confirming the cause of death by asphyxiation. Disturbingly, also inside that bucket were male genitalia and 2 bloody knives. Perhaps most chilling was the evidence outside the house. Taylor's abandoned minivan held a cardboard box from a crock pot, inside of which lay human legs and other body parts she had taken from the scene, presumably planning to dispose of them elsewhere. Taylor's trial in July 2023 was as dramatic as the crime itself, marked by her bizarre behavior in the courtroom. During the 3-day trial, jurors were subjected to exceedingly graphic testimony, from detectives describing the scene to the medical examiner explaining how Shad was killed and dismembered. Observers in court noted that Taylor often appeared bemused by the proceedings. At one point, as a forensic witness discussed the injuries, Taylor made a startling finger gun gesture, pointing at the judge and pretending to pull the trigger. Despite a brief defense argument attempting to claim she was insane or could not distinguish reality, the jury was not swayed. After only about 30 minutes of deliberation, they returned a guilty verdict on all counts.
First verdict reads as follows. We, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Schabusiness, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 1 of the information, dated this date, July 26, 2023, signed by the foreperson. Second verdict reads as follows. We, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Schabusiness, guilty of mutilating a corpse as charged in count 2 of the information, dated this date, July 26, 2023, signed by the foreperson. The next verdict reads, we, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Schabusiness, guilty of third-degree sexual assault as charged in count 3 of the information, dated this date, 26th day of July, 2023, signed by the foreperson.
If Taylor treated court like some type of game, Omaima treated it like confession booth, but with half-truths. Omaima's trial took place in late 1992 in Santa Ana, California, and it became one of the most sensational courtroom sagas of the era. Dubbed the Thanksgiving Butcher case in headlines, it featured lurid testimony that alternately horrified and captivated the jurors. Psychological defense was central to Omaima's case. Her attorney, Thomas Mooney, did not contest that she killed Bill. Instead, he argued that she was a severely traumatized woman who snapped after a lifetime of abuse.
I don't know where to go or who to call or what to do. And I got mixed, confused. I don't know who I am or who's that person I'm not related to. I thought he's a stranger. I thought, what am I doing in this place?
They introduced evidence of her childhood mutilation and claimed she suffered from battered woman syndrome and even a transient psychotic state during the dismemberment.
I found Omaima to be soft-spoken. I found her to be rather childlike. She was frequently very sad and often tearful. She began to fantasize that she was descended from ancient Egyptians.
The ancient Egyptians believed that if your body is scattered, you will not go to the afterlife. So she cut him up.
She was making sure that if she got to the afterlife, he wouldn't be there.
In January 1993, Omaima was formally sentenced for the second-degree murder of her husband, as well as for the assault on her former boyfriend. The judge imposed the maximum, 28 years to life in prison. This consisted of 18 years to life for the murder. Second degree in California carries 15 to life, plus enhancements for the use of a knife added a few years, and an additional 10 years for the assault with a gun on Robert Hansen. At the sentencing hearing, Omaima reportedly sobbed and begged for God's forgiveness, a far cry from her earlier stoic front. Still, the gruesome facts of the case weighed heavily against her pleas. The prosecutor hammered that Omaima showed a predatory pattern, arguing she would pose a danger if ever released. Her first chance at parole came in 2006. By then 38 years old, the board, however, was unconvinced. Noting that she still refused to take full responsibility for the murder and deeming her unpredictable and dangerous, they denied her parole. She tried again in 2011. Unsurprisingly, they denied parole a second time in 2011.
She's a very much danger to society because she's actually now doing the same stuff since she's been in prison that she did in the outside world. She got married to a gentleman that she knew at the time of Mr. Nelson's death. He was in his 80s at the time. Just a few years back, he died. He left her a large sum of money.
As of now, Omaima Nelson remains incarcerated in California. She will not be eligible to seek parole again until 2026, at which point she will be in her late 50s. 2 months after her conviction, in September 2023, Taylor faced Judge Thomas Walsh for sentencing. Given the brutality of the crime, the outcome was inevitable.
At this time, given all the factors that I have to consider, it's the decision of this court and the judgment of the law that Ms. Schabusiness be sentenced as follows. As to in 22 CF 363, count 1, that's the first degree intentional homicide as a repeater. It's a Class A felony. I'm going to impose life imprisonment without the possibility of extended supervision. I believe that's appropriate in light of the findings that I've already made. As far as count 2, mutilation of a corpse as a repeater, Class F felony, I'm going to adopt the recommendation of the pre-sentence investigation writer, 7.5 years of initial confinement followed by 4 years of extended supervision. That'll be consecutive to count 1. As far as count 3, third degree sexual assault as a repeater, Class G felony, I'm going to impose 3 years of initial confinement followed by 4 years of extended supervision. That will be consecutive to count 2 and count 1. As far as the revocation cases, I'm going to impose 1 year of incarceration on each of those counts. Those will run concurrent to the other offenses.
As the life sentence was pronounced, Taylor's earlier bravado drained away. She hung her head, the only movement visible under the hood a slight nod. And so, at 26 years old, Taylor Schabusiness was led out of the courtroom to begin life behind bars at a maximum security women's prison. In the end, justice was swift and unsparing. These two cases stand as grim mirror images. Both involve dismemberment and alleged dissociation, but one killer relished her infamy while the other shrouded herself in denial. Who is more monstrous? Is it Taylor Schabusiness, the young woman who killed for kicks and giggles, bragging to police about her gruesome handiwork? Or is it Omaima Nelson, the abused model who went to extreme lengths to obliterate her abuser, and perhaps derived a twisted empowerment from literally consuming the relationship that destroyed her? Both stories are cautionary tales of how darkness can fester behind a friendly face. Taylor, 24, smiling in a police car after decapitating a friend. Omaima, 23, crying crocodile tears to a neighbor even as her husband's organs sat bagged in his car. These cases force us to confront uncomfortable truths about human nature. That evil is not confined to any one gender or stereotype, and that under the right or wrong circumstances, brutality knows no bounds. One thing is certain: both crimes will haunt all who hear of them for years to come. Thanks for watching.